There's a lot of value in agency. I saw a tweet or post on X recently where someone said, I think we're overvaluing intelligence and undervaluing agency. I wish I would have saved that. Maybe I retweeted it, but that's deep, and it's something that's resonated with me recently. Is okay, you can be super smart, you can talk about it, you can articulate it, you can make people believe you know it, but what's really going to come down to at the end of the situation is, did you build something? Did you fix it? Did you actually help provide a solution? That's what ultimately the value is going to come from. And for you, if you're a beginner coming into this industry, I just got to encourage you to be courageous and have agency. Try it. Go in there. You may need help. So if you're the lone IT ranger, you're gonna do a lot of just jumping in and doing it because that's the only option you have. If you're on a team, hopefully the role you get, you'll have a supportive team. Because having a supportive team is awesome because you can be bold and courageous and try to jump in and solve the issues or try to take risks, and you may have more advanced level people that can help you like recover from if you messed up, right? Like they may, like if you messed something up, they could help you fix it, or at least nudge you in the right direction to know how to fix it. Because trust me when I say you're gonna make mistakes. I mean, give yourself permission to make mistakes. I'm not saying that you strive always to make the mistake. Like the end goal is not to make a mistake, but you're gonna make them. Um, for people that say they've never made a mistake, they are lying. They're lying and they're trying to cover up that they've made a mistake. I've seen that before, where you're like, you know, you're coming across people who are super critical of just any mistake, and those folks are not the easiest to work with. So as we kind of talk and you come to streams and my videos, you'll find that I do try to put in a little bit of how to deal with personalities in tech, because like a sport, you come across those really rock star folks, and some of the rock stars and superstars in the field, they have a bit of an ego, and with an ego comes a lot of different kinds of behaviors. And while I'm not saying everybody's the same, there's some trends and common behaviors that you will see. And then you have great people, like awesome people, intelligent people, people that you're like, they learn so fast. How'd you do that? And what I recommend you do to accelerate your learning in tech is continue to ask questions of people that are in it. You're going to ask questions to some people and they don't want to share their knowledge. That's okay. But the vast majority of people that I've come across in tech, they care. They really do. It's like inbuilt. That's why they got in, because they have the interest in tech and they wanted to use it to help people. So when you ask questions like, hey, how does this work? Or could you take some time to show that to me when you get some time? And have the courage to do that. There's a concept in the field that I think everybody feels in waves. It's called imposter syndrome, where you just feel like you don't belong. Even after you might have been hired, you're like, I don't belong here. I'm not smart enough. And, that doesn't go away permanently. You have to continually conquer that. You're always going to come across situations where there's somebody smarter than you in the room in some specific area. And what I've found, my number one way of getting over that is, conquering imposter syndrome when it rears its ugly head, is really to acknowledge that I don't know everything. I have a strong capability to learn. I have an intense interest in this, and I want to help somebody. So I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to be open about what I know. What I've found is I can share a little bit about when I first started my career working on a good, like an MSP, a really talented team. I came in and I was going from an environment where I was a lone IT ranger and like the top of my, basically the top of my class in college, and going into an environment where I was now, from a knowledge standpoint, on the bottom of the totem pole. I was no longer the person that knew most about the tech. And that is a interesting transition because you may still come with that confidence that you had, that mindset of I know more. And maybe this was me being younger, but I had this like I know more than everybody mindset. And when I started, I got humbled because I saw all the people and what they knew, and I didn't know as much. And it got to the point where I wasn't like as confident anymore because I guess my confidence at the time was rooted in my technical knowledge that I had at that time. And it wasn't in my capabilities to learn. It was just straight up in my technical know-how. I thought that was everything. And then I started coming across people that knew more, and I was like, "Oh man, like I'm just getting started." And like I got to be open. And like at first I wasn't. It was like I went through these phases where I was almost like a little bit combative, and then it went to from combative to like humbled to the point where I was almost scared to be exposed. And like I wasn't hiding anything. It wasn't like I was lying or anything, but it was just I didn't want to be seen as not knowing more than, or like not knowing as much as the people I was working with. And eventually I just got to the point where it was like, this is kind of pointless. I shouldn't be like worried to ask questions. And, I think it was like a month or two in, I just accepted that and I just started asking more and more questions. And, they embraced them and I started to accelerate. And that's the thing about asking good questions and using people on your team and leveraging their knowledge is it accelerates you. It will accelerate you, you know. Of course, you want to be respectful of time. So, asking them, hey, do you have time to show me something and show me how you did something? If you couldn't solve the issue and then they were able to, ask them how they did it, then write it down. So, yeah, because documentation is going to be huge for you. But yeah, so if you're a beginner in tech, I'm definitely loving helping you